Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Goose Bay, Canada. Part 3 of this video now? Yeah, part 3. We're back once again for the final 2 legs of our flight on down to Victorville. We just have one more hop to go, and that's to Rockford, Chicago, in the Illinois area, and then on down to Victorville, which should be fun. And I don't know why I keep pressing the right click, but that keeps happening. So, a couple of things happened while you were gone. As you can probably tell, the frame rate's a little bit smoother now. I found out something funny. I use Active Sky Next for my weather, and apparently it uses a lot of your GPU when it renders out the weather, and I was having frame rate issues as opposed to that. So I'm kind of brought back into using Active Sky Next to generate the weather, but then turning off the active program for the weather. So it's kind of just loaded in the weather, and it will be static throughout the flight from our takeoff to our landing, which kind of sucks. But that's kind of how this is going to have to work, unless you want me to have just horrid frame rates. I don't know why I was having such horrid frame rates, but every time I would turn off Active Sky Next, it would be fine again. I think it's a new GPU. I think I need a new graphics card, and I only have a 2 gigabyte graphics card. I think I probably need a 4 gigabyte graphics card, and I think that might help me. But I'm kind of disappointed that happened, and I'll have to rectify that here soon. So here we are. Like I said, once again, we are in the British Airways 737-700 to mimic the British Airways 737-400 that is being retired into Victorville. So let's head on into the cockpit, and no, my controls don't work. I was gonna try to be cool and put all of have it go towards the plane and then automatically go towards the plane, and then EasyDock decides to rear its head. Okay, let's try this. I'm restarting EasyDock. Oh no. It's lagging. EasyDock. Yay, live issues. As we're going, let's try this again. Launching EasyDock. You can see it's just morning outside. The clouds are a little bit wispy in the air today as we head into the cockpit. Here we are. All that I have connected is the ground power, and I've turned on the dome light. Everything else will have to do. So let's start doing that as we get ready for our flight. So first up here, we're going to do our waterfalls. So waterfalling down this one, there's nothing we need to turn on. Battery is already on. Ground power is already selected. We can bring in the emergency lights, probably get some light on the panel. Put our seatbelts to probably auto. Get our window heat going on here as we head down. We'll probably have to do some anti-ice this morning because it is quite cold out. And then pressurization panel is all right. We can set our altitude. We're going up to flight level 400 again, which is very nice. And our lights are checked as well. I'll head up to the upper panel and we'll get those IRSs aligning, because that does take a while to get those IRSs aligning. I think it's going to take about 5-6 minutes. We'll see. It's not coming up with a number just yet. We'll head down here. Let's get some lights going so we can actually see what we're doing. Would be a good thing to do. So I do captain and co-pilot, and then do some of our floods. There we go. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then down here as well. Whoops, wrong one. The panel, and then just a little bit of floodlight. All right. We can probably set up our transponder for 2200. There is no ATC on. 122.8 in the communications channel for VATSIM. We're flying on VATSIM again. Let's set up our weight and fuel today. So fuel, we are taking 18,590 pounds, which will result in about 4 hours and 43 minutes of total flight time on this fuel. And our payload is still a very light 84.8 thousand pounds as our zero fuel weight. So that goes there. Put this back on our doors page, coming over to the left-hand side. And let's get in the FMC. First up, position initialization. We'll take the left-hand GPS point. Goes in there. Our reference airport is CYYR. Like so. In our route, we're going CYYR to KRFD. And the Rockford Airport, the Rockford International Airport, is a dedicated cargo airport. There is no passenger flying to this airport, so we'll be going to a cargo ramp to refuel and get out of there. Like I said, it's going to be a turnaround of like 5 or 10 minutes. Well, maybe like a half an hour because you got to get fuel in the plane. Flight number today is still Speedbird 9737 as our flight number. Our runway for departing today is runway 34, like so. Go to our routes page. We actually have a very simple route today. It's direct Yankee Romeo, which is the Goose Bay VOR. Then it's the R29 airway, all the way to Uniform Mike. Then from Uniform Mike, it's the Victor 331 airway to YWK. Then YWK, it's the Juliet 551 airway. So Juliet 551 airway all the way up to Mike Tango. I have these 2-letter ones, Mike Tango. Boom. Then it's direct TVC. And then it's direct Petty, P-E-T-T-Y. P-E-T-T-Y. Then it's direct Teddy. And then, as my voice starts cracking, it's that one. And then from Teddy, it's RFD. And we'll pick our approach before our descent. So I'll pick it while we're up in the air. That all looks good, so we'll activate it. And then we'll go to our initialization page. We'll have it autofill in our 0 fuel weight. Reserves today, final reserves are 1.8 thousand pounds. Cost next today is 36 as usual. Flight level 40, oops, not 440. The plane can't go that high. 400 as our top altitude, which is great because that's actually the limit of this plane. Actually, 410 is the limit of the plane. Then we'll go to our thrust limitations. We have a little bit of a different setup today. Will be flaps 1 for takeoff, D rate of 2, with a degrees of 52 degrees Celsius. So it kind of gives us a really, really slow, but we're super light, so it doesn't make a difference. We will use anti-ice on the engines today because it is cold and there is moisture in the air. So we'll go to our takeoff page. We're actually going to be using flaps 1 today. Center of gravity will have it autofill. And our takeoff is as follows. V1 is 111 knots. V2 is 123 knots. And V2 is 131 knots. We're going to need a little bit more space than we usually did as we take off. Departures, we don't really have a departure since there's really no departures out of this. It's just kind of runway heading after departure. So I guess we can put in the runway heading for the airport, which we're taking off of 34. So that's a heading of 337. So we can tap our MCP here. Oops, wrong buttons. There we go. So 40,000 feet can go in the altitude. Heading is 337. 3, 5, 6, 7. And speed is, what did I say again? It was 131 knots. That's our V2 speed. So we'll put that in right about there. Activate the flight directors, left one first, then right. We can't activate LNAV, VNAV yet because we don't have our IRSs aligned, which should be happening in right about 2 minutes. So we're still good on the time. Everything is set up lower. Everything is set up here. I think we're pretty much good to go. I guess we could step through the route real quick. We can go to our route flight plan and step through the route. So we'll end up going runway heading. We won't go direct Yankee Romeo because that will cause us to do kind of like a loop-to-loop, which we don't want to do. So we'll just go runway heading. Then I'll have us direct uniform mic. Then as filed all the way down to RFD, which from there we'll choose a runway. We'll have a runway chosen by the time I'm in the descent. Flight time today, 3 hours and 17 minutes, so not a very long flight for this aircraft. Usually does about 4 hours to 5 hour flights, so a little bit less than usual. Since we don't have too much time left, we'll start getting the plane set up. So we'll have the fuel pump on, the APU will come on as well. As like I said, the sun is just starting to lick up over here somewhere, so we should have a nice takeoff. I think we're going to be taking off with it behind us, if I'm right. I don't remember where we are right now. That's the runway that we came in on, and this is the runway we're taking out of. So we need to go right here. Yeah, we need to go right here, and we should be able to take off from here and go. Awesome. Okay. So I know where we are now. At least referencing my charts here. Altimeter is set to 981, which is great. I think we're good to go. Oh, hey, look, our IRSs are on. I'll start us off on terrain mode, because there is high terrain around here. As we saw, there were some large mountains coming in, so that's going to be an issue on our way out. APU is on and running, so I'll switch over to it, flick on our anti-collision lights as I come down here and close both the air stairs and the front door. So let's see that happening. Look at that. Nice bit of closing action on the air stairs. I don't know if the real aircraft has air stairs in it, but we're kind of fudging it just a little bit. Back in the cockpit here, since we have everything on APU power, then we can disconnect the ground power. And if I remember where, if I remember where my checklist is, we can go through the checklist. Should be a good idea. Okie dokie. So, our checklist. We'll go from pushback and start. So passenger boarding is completed. Passenger doors are closed and locked. We have our clearance for push. Throttle levers are at idle. Start levers are off. Packs are off. APU is running. Bleed air pressure is checked because we got our bleeds on right here. Fuel pumps are, we can flick on the rest of our fuel pumps now. Including the center ones. We got a little bit of gas in the center tank. Alright, pushback. We are ready for the pushback. So, let's call up GSX here. Fare for pushback and departure. Let's see if we actually get, oops. See if we actually get pushback. Oh, hey, look, we do. Yay, okay. Ice warning. Do you request the de-icing treatment? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I haven't used GSX's de-icing in a while, so we'll see how it works. So they'll end up coming to de-ice our planes. There's the de-icer trucks right over there. As they coming. Oh, look at these! Look at these little things. They have they have little roofs on them. That's so cute. That's so cute. I don't know how we can see anything out of it though. Oh, there it goes. Now it's transparent. Oop. Alright, so our de-icing trucks are right there. Come de-ice us, hopefully. Taking their sweet time. come over and meet them. Oh, look at the guys at the front. So cool. They're coming to de-ice us with their de-icing mix. Oh, don't hit the wing! Don't hit the rear stabilizer. Alright. See these guys in action. So they'll be de-icing our wings to make sure that we don't get any ice.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
We'll just do type 1.
We begin treatment now and observe fluid type 1. I will call you back when ready.
That's cool. So here they go. In unison. Ah, look at that, in unison. Ah, see, look at that. That's so cool. They're de-icing the wings. Making sure we don't get any ice buildup. That would be a bad idea. Indeed. Since we're in Canada, it's already winter there. It's already snowing on the ground and stuff. It is actually raining outside too, so keep from ice forming on the wings. Just adds a little bit of extra time to our departure slots, but I don't think we're gonna have any issues. It's not a very large airport that doesn't get a ton of traffic. The left one's done. Right one's done. Don't hit the wing. Oh, that's close. He almost hits the wing.
And anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type 1. I am disconnecting. Good day.
I am disconnecting. Good day. Oh, don't hit the plane. Oh my gosh. He just really wants to hit the plane, doesn't he? Yeah, let's see if he's gonna hit the plane. Okay, I guess he's a little bit. Whoa! Whoa! Ho, ho. He almost had a crash there. What is this? This is an airport, sir. You're supposed to be a lot better at driving. Alright, so we should see the. So we want nose left, tail right. Alright, so we gotta wait till the push is complete. Fine. I will wait, I guess. So we're all good to go up here. Everything is pretty much set and in order. I don't think we're gonna have any issues. Now we're gonna be good. Just waiting for the slow pushback, guys.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And then we're gonna wait for him to. Let's see. He's gonna put in the gear pin, and then he can push back. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Alright. So let's come over here. Let's look through the guy's eyes. It's like, what are the British Airways 737 doing all the way over here in Canada?
Departure check completed. Flight estimate inserted. Release parking brakes.
The parking brakes release.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
And due to the icing conditions, we can't start our engines. Fine. Wow, look at that. That's so cool. That might be the thumbnail right there. We'll see. Still pushing. We got a pretty far push back here. Let's check. Yeah. See, that's the taxiway that they're going to push us back onto. Gonna push us back. So, we got pretty much everything on our quick reference checklist all done. Yes. We just have to wait now to start the engines. So we're at the mercy of the push-it-back guys. Who couldn't be any slower. I really wish you could like tell GSX to push you back faster. They really do kind of push you back pretty slow. Like I said, this airport is an ETOPS airport, so this airport was kind of created just so that when you're getting across the Atlantic that you have somewhere like an emergency to land, or that you have any troubles. That's kind of like your last airport before you head across the Atlantic. So it's a small airport, not a very trafficked airport, but a good airport indeed for all of the operations that go into going across the Atlantic. So we're finally now getting pushed back onto the taxiway. It's gotta turn us a little bit more. There he goes. See if he gets us on the line. Ooh. What is he doing? Alright. Setting parking brake. With our gear. Look at that. Our gear is twisted. We have a twisted gear. Look at that. That's not professional, sir. Look at that. That's not even professional. What are these guys here? Let's see what he's gonna do. Alright. Yay. Look at this guy. He's like, I'm the man. Walks funny. Alright, let's go ahead and start the engines. Starting right.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
So we're kind of, it's a pretty cold start, -2 degrees outside. So, see, there we go. See this engine start. Now, I have what's called FSFX installed on this aircraft, so it creates some cool ground effects and wing effects for like precipitation and like if there's water on the ground and stuff. So I'll try to show that off when we begin our taxi. So we'll have to see. Alright. So left is coming on. Starter should be clicking out any second. And then we'll go for number 1. These babies are cold. They are cold. $19 and $20 with it going on. Try to get a good view. Nope. Aha! There we go. I'm whisking through the views. I wanted to get a good one for the engine start. There it goes. Perfect. Alright. So once that starter cuts out, we can go through our flows. So cut out. There we go. So we'll put them on both continuous. Then we're going to come down through, oops. We're going to come down through here. So Our hydraulics can go on. That means our yaw damper can come on. Our probe heat is now on. Packs can come on. Isolation valve to auto. We can switch everything over and turn off the APU, turn off the bleed. We can turn on our taxi light. We can probably turn off the dome light. Oops, that's not the dome light. This is the dome light. And I think we're good to go. Let me just double check. Engine starter, so I need to go to the next page. After starting, checklist. Engine generators are on. Probe heat is on. Anti-ice is as required, which we do need engine anti-ice today. Is going to be the anti-ice that we need. Engine bleeds are on, packs are on, isolation valves into auto, APU bleed is off, APU switch is as required, which is going to be off, external lights are as required, master caution light is off, and recall has been checked. Look at that. Okay, so let me try to show you this FSFX effect. So, I'm going to come over this way, over here. And no, I clicked out of the program. No, go back. No, stop. Okay. Went a little bit too far. Okay, so we'll be able to see this. So watch the back of the plane here. So I'm gonna release the parking brake. Actually, I need to set the parking brake real quick because I need to. All right, like I was saying about this FSFX stuff, they have it for both the 777 and the 73, and I think the Airbus A320 Aerosoft series. So let me show you this. Hopefully it works. I think it's installed. So if I increase, maybe it's not installed in the 73, but basically it has a whole bunch of rain effects, and it looks really cool. When you're in like snow or heavy sand or stuff like that. So we'll just continue our taxi here with 5 degrees of flaps on the, there we go. How's that view? It's a good view. All right. Like I said, 5 degrees of flaps. We're all good to go. It's a short taxi. Auto brake is going to go to RTO. And let's see what else we have here. Before taxi, master caution light is off, recall is checked, flight controls are checked, flaps are set at 5, trim is checked, flight director is on. Transponder is going to TA and RA. Oh, we can now arm LNAV and heading select. And there's the end of the runway right there. So we're pretty much good to go. Flaps are good. Everything is good. We'll use the alpha for the departure point. There we go. As we're coming towards the runway, landing lights coming on, turnoffs coming on, strobes are on as well. Oh, a nice slow taxi out to the runway. It is raining, so I will. Oops, I'll get our wipers on as we get lined up with the runway. Okay, everything is set. Here we go. Toga. Oh, auto throttle isn't armed. Try this again. Toga. Ah. And caution light's good, so we're good. Don't have much thrust today since we're so light. So there's V1. And here's rotate. So we'll slowly bring the nose up and bring us into about a 15 degree rate of climb. Positive rate Gear is up. And we'll keep this rate of climb. As we climb out, you can see there's not much around. It's just what we can see. There's those mountains out in front of us that I was talking about that we need to be wary of. But at our rate of climb, we're pretty good. Autopilot will go on. Let's do LNAV, VNAV. As we come off the runway. Look at that. The great view, nice and snowy like that. Flaps will go to 1. So we kind of level off in our climb now. Gain speed up to 250 knots below 10K. Flaps can go up now. You can see the beautiful sunset, or sunrise, excuse us, behind us. The morning time, not nighttime. It's the nice sunrise behind us through the clouds. As our flaps all but retract. And we start climbing. Climbing up to 250 knots as well. So we're only on 210 right now. We don't need our wipers, so wipers can come off. Let's see, we're still in moisture and freezing conditions. So I'll wait till I get above these clouds really to turn off our anti-ice. But from here, what we're going to be doing is climbing all the way up to 40,000 feet for the next 3 hours, and then I will probably see you guys in the descent, where we will have picked out a runway and an approach procedure. Once again, just amazing looking views, by the way. I can pick any view and it just looks amazing. I love this view. It's cool because you can see the ground, you can see the shadow on the airplane, it just looks really sweet and cool. So, that does it for right now. I will see you guys inside of the descent, and we'll talk about all of our approach stuff then. So, see you guys in well, for me it'll be like 3 hours, but for you guys it'll be like 2 seconds. So, see you guys in a sec. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. We're on the descent down into Rockford. We do have ATC on, so we'll be talking to him on the way down. Hopefully on the next video we'll also have the same guy on the way out, since we're going to do a quick turnaround in Chicago, and hopefully we'll be able to do all that fun stuff. Right now we're on descent for the RNAV, runway 16 or 19. It's either 19 or 16, I forgot which runway it is. But we'll be executing an RNAV approach and then probably switching over to a visual as soon as we see the runway. It's quite cold. Quite cold around here, 12 degrees. You can see there's snow on the ground already, even though it's 12 degrees. That's about it, really. Wind is okay. It's at 180 at 11 knots. Nothing gusting like that, so we won't be having a crab in or anything like we did into Goose Bay. Overcast 4,900 feet, so that's what you see outside right now. Kind of coming through 11,000 right now. We'll get the cockpit all set up. We'll get our landing lights turned on here. We won't need anti-ice. Engines will go into continuous. We're only going to use speed brake of number 1 because we are so light. We don't need the speed brake. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do auto brake. We'll turn it off because I think we should be able to make it in without using auto brake. And then we'll be good to go. And it should be a short taxi off to the ramp as well once we get in. So that will be a good thing as well. Got to use some speed brake here as we come down, since we're still a little too fast, over 300 knots, but still descending through 10,000 feet. So we need to use those air brakes to slow ourselves down on this cold Chicagan day. Chicagan or Chicagoan? Chicagan, whatever. day as we come down here. This is the last stop until Victorville. We're almost there. I know getting a 737 from one half of the country or one half of the world to another half of the world is quite some work. So we'll continue ourselves down. I like the how it looks outside though. Get these nice clouds in front of us that we'll be coming down from. There's our descending through 10,000 feet, and we'll take speed brake off as we're at our target altitude. We're direct to Waggett right now. Waggett right now is going to be 2,500 or above, and then there's one more point after that we go on to Waggett at 2,500 or above as well. Let's see. Yep, runway 19, go to Waggett, then
Chicago Center, Swiss 8 Heavy with
7 miles to Karga.
Swiss 8, you can expect over 28 right. Roger that, expecting speed right, Swiss 8 Heavy, thanks.
And we've already been cleared on the approach, so pretty much he just needs to give us landing clearance now, so we already have our approach clearance. We got our approach clearance about 80 miles out, which was pretty funny. So here we go. You can see everything coming into view now. There's our extended center line. Waggett at 2,500 above, then Karga, or Kagra, sorry, called Karga. Kagra is 2,500 above as well, and at Kagra we'll start our descent. We have a radio altimeter of 200 above for our minimums. We already have our altimeter set pretty high pressure, as opposed to where we've been lately, where it had pretty low pressure, so we got some high pressure in the area. And I think we're going to go, we can arm the speed brake, or I'll at least arm it by now. And then I'll start dropping flaps once we get to Waggett. Since we are so light, we're able to have a lot of agility when it comes to these things. So let's add a little bit of speed brake since we're still quite fast. Gonna slow ourselves down now. I think we'll get to where I think we'll be level for just a tad bit at 2,500, but that will be okay. We still do need to slow down just a little bit to get that target 250 under 10, as well as being slow enough to start dropping some flaps is the big thing, is we need to drop some flaps. And hopefully we'll be able to get that in pretty soon. So here comes Waggett. I'll switch over to terrain on my radar, because I don't need... oops, there we go. Now put terrain. So we don't need the weather on our radar. It's already slowing us down as well. It wants to get to approach speed. We're about 15 miles out. So I'll take up the speed brake and we'll put in flaps 1 instead. Good look outside there. I know it's a little bit laggy, but I think that's not the weather engine this time. I've ruled out the weather engine. I think it's just the high density of auto-gen stuff down the ground, which I'll probably have to turn down since we weren't in a very auto-gen heavy area where now we are. We're in the Chicago area, so there's a lot of houses, lots of buildings, lots of trees, lots of everything. I want to I want to take over speed because I want to keep our speed up 180 for a little bit. I think we'll be a little bit we're a little far out, so I want to keep our speed up. Put that into 10, and here comes our left turn. I think that's the airport. I think it's right about there. I think. we'll have to see as we slow down. So now that we're on about a 10-mile final, we'll be 170 until about 5 DME, and we'll lower the flaps to 5.
Chicago Center, also 144 is with you. We're almost up to 340, I guess. Another 144, Chicago Center, Roger. Center maintain level 320, maintain best forward speed. 320, best forward speed for us 144.
Chicago, good evening, AC 5985 with you, level 200, smooth ride. Smooth ride.
EC 5985, Chicago Center, Roger. Stay there, speed.
Air speed.
AC 5985, Chicago Center, stay there, speed.
AC 5985, 330 indicator.
You see that guy kind
And AC 5985, maintain 300 knots or less. Indicated.
300 knots or left for AC 5985.
And we know 144 could get direct deck. Delta 144 direct deck.
of... Okay, so see the airports. What out
Direct
there?
deck.
I think that's it at least. That's about 10 miles, and I think that's it. So put us on an extended final. The RNAV approach did. But we're ready for it. Just gives us time to get everything set up. Plus we'll take over manually here once I actually have the runway in sight rather than the PAPIs. So I'm going to drop one more degree of flaps, and then I'm also going to drop the gear as we're about 7 miles out.
Speedbird 9737, wind.
Wind's the 180, I think.
Wind 18011, runway 19 for the land.
19 clear to land, speedbird 9737. Alright, there's our clear to land. Here I will take over manual control. Descend manually with the plane, as well as still set our target airspeed of 120 knots is our target today. Come into land, drop another flap here as we'll slow down. You can see the PAPIs are, I think, in a 2-2 configuration, so we are right on the
Delta 144, correct, Chicago here.
Direct to Chicago here, Delta 144.
And we'll put another degree of flap in.
AC 5985, clear to Chicago here. Okay, clear direct to Chicago, 5985.
There's the runway.
1,000.
A little bit windy. See, we're bumping around a little bit due to the wind. Whee! And then down there, past the cross of the runway to the right,
Swiss 8, fly heading 180.
is where we want to park. So it's be a nice, easy park. So we're still kind of keeping our speed up.
AC 5985, clear, back intersection.
500.
Direct back, AC 5985.
The 500 call
So
out.
it's H, unless heading 180 register final. Heading 180 is supposed to 8 heavy.
Approaching minimums.
Okay, minimums.
Delta
Continue.
144 to set a maintain final.
Continue.
240 for Delta 144.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
We're down. It's a little bit long. I'll deal with it. And I'll take over manual braking since we have no auto braking. Speed brakes retracted. And light braking action until we get to the end. And Chicago Center speed, we're 97.37. We're going to be out on Echo, and we'd like to park here at the south ramp.
And taxi parking process restriction, okay.
Negative.
Okay, taxi parking at fast discretion, speed 97.37. Oops. We're just going to park right in here somewhere. I'm thinking we'll put our flaps up. So we're clear of the runway. And I think we'll take the second one in. Why not?
So it's 8 to set a maintain 5,000.
So we can get a
5,000
good.
plus 8 heavy.
See a good. Eyeball this. I'm gonna eyeball it and stop. All right. Parking brake is set. Ooh, I'd insert APU. So let's just say they're gonna connect the ground power up. Ground power's connected and connected. So you get to go like this. Whoops. You get to go like this. And shut down procedures. Lighting lights off. Taxi off. Logo can stay on. Position, anti-collision.
Chicago Center, United 3824 clear, runway 28 right. Taxi to Charlie Terminal.
Yeah, so 824 Texas parking, guy.
What was that? Squawk. Alright.
United
Let's
3824
turn the
Texas
dome.
parking.
And I think that's all of our shutdown checklist.
United 3824 taxiing to parking.
And
Happy
we'll,
United 3824.
get off this frequency. And voila. Well, I guess we gotta open up the doors. So hold on. Yes, I know VNav is disconnected. That's when I landed. Entry forward left with the air stair. Alright. So welcome, guys, to Rockford International. A little bit off the center line there. This is our final stop. We'll be going to Victorville in our next video, which should be a hoot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys in our next video.